This story belongs to Kai and his mummy, Georgina. It's a tiny tale about how children, just like you, lived a long time ago, over 100 years.
All right. Should we take some photos, Kai?
Yes.
Okay, right. Selfie. Cool.
And now it's time for Kai and mummy Georgina to go on a journey of discovery. Together, they're going to find out what life was like all those years ago.
What do we need to pack for our holidays, Kai?
Clothes, books, and Peter Rabbit.
Oh yeah, we can't forget Peter Rabbit, can we? Holidays are a really special treat.
Yes, very special.
I know a story about a little girl who loved going on holiday with her family, and her favourite place was the Lake District. Her name is Beatrix Potter, and she lived in the Victorian times.
What's Victorian?
It's a long, long time ago when Queen Victoria was in charge of the country, and the people who lived at that time were called Victorians. You know Queen Elizabeth, our queen?
Yeah.
Well, Queen Victoria was her great-great-grandma.
Can you tell me about Beatrix, please?
Absolutely! But before we do that, I think we should dress up as Victorians.
Yes, please.
What do you think of our clothes, Kai?
Cool.
Would you like to wear these every day?
Yeah.
You would?
Mummy, I love your dress. It's really pretty.
Thank you. I think you look fantastic. Shall we strike some cool poses?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Wow, look at Kai and mummy Georgina now, dressed up in clothes, just like Beatrix would have worn all those years ago in the Victorian times. Kai is wearing short trousers called knickerbockers. The trouser leg fastens below the knee and has a matching vest and jacket. Kai and mummy Georgina look ready for their big adventure. But where will they go? Mummy Georgina has brought Kai to Ray Castle. This was where Beatrix and her family came on holiday, and the first place she ever visited in the Lake District. Like many Victorian families, the Potters would be away on holiday for 3 months of the year.
Do you know Beatrix would have played here as a child?
Oh, I would want to do that.
Would you? It's amazing. This is a big staircase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine Beatrix would have walked up here when she was a little girl. You know, Beatrix used to spend her whole summer holidays here when she was a child. Just look at all of these suitcases, and this wouldn't have been half the luggage that they would have brought with them.
Mummy Georgina and Kai are going outside, and it started to rain, just like real holiday weather.
Do you know that Beatrix's holidays were really long, the whole summer? She spent all that time away from her house in the city with her family and pets.
What about school, Mummy?
That's a very good question, Kai, but Beatrix didn't go to school at all.
Wow, no school?
Many Victorian children had a governess that taught them lessons at home, so she didn't go to school. So when it was Beatrix's summer holidays, the governess would go with her too, and she'd be learning the whole time. Can you imagine going on holiday and your teacher being there giving lessons?
No. When she didn't have school, what did Beatrix like to do on holiday?
Beatrix loved exploring the countryside. She loved nature and art, so she would spend a lot of time drawing things that she saw there. Her governess thought that she was very good at drawing animals and nature.
I love animals too.
Well, I know somewhere that we can go that you'll enjoy.
Now it's time for Mummy Georgina and Kai to get up close to some little animals. They're visiting Weatherig's Animal Sanctuary, a place where lots of different animals like ducks, goats, ponies and many more are cared for. I'm sure Beatrix would have loved it here. Let's see who Kai and Mummy Georgina get to meet.
Who's this, Kai?
Peter Rabbit.
Yeah. Did you know that Beatrix, when she grew up, she wrote a story about a naughty little rabbit that she had when she was a little girl? Do you know what that book was called?
Peter Rabbit?
The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Well done. Beatrix wrote this story and drew beautiful pictures to go with it for her governess's little boy when he was ill. Isn't he cute?
Yes. Look, there's a little hedgehog. I've never seen a white one before.
Did you know that Beatrix Potter wrote a story about a little hedgehog? It was called The Tale of Mrs. Tiggywinkle. Not all children had pets like Beatrix in the Victorian times.
Why, Mummy?
Because they had really big families, like 5 or 6 children, so they couldn't look after pets as well. Instead, these children would have played with toys that they had made or played outside together.
Playing outside's fun.
It is. Beatrix used to love playing outside. That's where she used to copy all the things that she drew. And that's what she did for Mrs. Tiggywinkle and Peter Rabbit.
Quack, quack, quack.
That's a great duck noise, Kai. Do you know who might have written a story about a duck?
Beatrix.
Yes, well done. Her duck was called Jemima Cuddle Duck.
Jemima Puddle Duck. I like that name.
Yeah, it's a really good name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shall we try and draw and paint our own version of Jemima Puddle Duck? Should we show Jemima Puddle Duck our paintings?
Yeah.
I think she likes them. I think your picture's fantastic, Kai.
I think yours are brilliant.
During Victorian times, people didn't have computers or email, so everything had to be sent in the post. Kai is sending his grandma his drawing of Jemima Puddle Duck. He's putting it in the postbox in Beatrix's village, just like Beatrix would have done. Mummy Georgina has brought Kai to visit Hilltop, one of Beatrix's homes when she was a grown-up. She wrote many of her famous stories here, and nowadays it's a museum, a place where people can visit to look at all of Beatrix's favourite things and see what gave her ideas for her world-famous stories.
This is a really pretty house. What do you think, Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah. This room's called the parlour, and it's probably where Beatrix would have entertained her friends and her guests. And she might have come in here to read books or maybe write some of her stories. I've got a special book for you.
Tale of Samuel Whiskers.
Excellent reading, Kai.
What's it about?
It's about a really mean rat called Samuel Whiskers and a naughty little kitten called Tom Kitten. And one day Tom Kitten was running away from his mum and he fell down into Samuel's house. Samuel Whiskers wasn't very happy about that. So do you know what he did? He tried to roll him up into a roly-poly pudding and eat him for his dinner.
That sounds like a funny story.
Children have been reading Beatrix's books for over 100 years. And do you know what's really special about this book?
No.
It was set in this very house. There are things in this house that are in this story.
Like furniture and stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to see if we can find things from this book in the house?
Yes, please.
What do you think we can find in this book that's in this room?
2 chairs.
Well done. Cousin Ribby was sitting there and Mrs. Tabitha Twitchett was sitting over there. Should we see what else we can find? What can we see in the book now?
The sideboard.
Oh yeah, really good. Well done. That's Anna Maria, Samuel Whisker's wife. That's what Beatrix Potter used to do. She used to look at things, study them, and draw them and put them in her stories. Should we see what else we can find?
Yeah.
Come on then.
It's Mrs. Tabitha.
Oh yeah, well done. Good spotting. You know, I heard that Beatrix had a room where she kept all her special treasures.
Like pirate treasure.
Not quite pirate treasure, but just a room full of her special and precious things. Wouldn't it be really cool if we had a place to store our treasure? Should we go and find Beatrix's treasure?
Yeah.
Beatrix and her brother Bertram used to collect lots of things. Collecting things was a really popular hobby for children in Victorian times. They used to collect loads of things like dolls, rocks, stamps, and even insects. Look in this treasure cabinet.
I see money, little animals, marbles, drugs.
Loads of things in here.
Did you collect anything when you were little, Mummy?
When I was a little girl, I used to collect marbles. I used to try and collect as many of them in as many different colours as I could.
That sounds like good fun.
Yes, it was. Kai, have you enjoyed yourself finding out all about the Victorian times?
Yes, I love finding out about Beatrix and her stories and pictures.
Can you remember all the different things that we've done?
Yes. We got all dressed up in clothes like the Victorians would have worn. They're very cool. We visited the castle where Beatrix went on holiday and saw lots of suitcases. We met some little animals, hedgehogs, bunny rabbits and ducks. We drew our own Jemina puddle duck, just like Beatrix.
I think she likes them.
We visited Beatrix's old farmhouse where she wrote her stories. We looked at her treasure room. I spotted things from one of Beatrix's books in her farmhouse.
What did you enjoy the most, Kai?
Stroking Peter Rabbit.
Oh, me too. I loved holding Peter Rabbit. But most of all, I enjoyed spending time with you. Now that we've had our adventure, it's time for a
Hug.
What a fabulous heap of fun! That was Kai and Mummy Georgina's tiny tale about what it was like living during the Victorian times, over 100 years ago. Now Mummy Georgina has shared this story with Kai. It's time for Kai to start his very own story. Do you know someone with a story to share?